to unique. So without further ado, we'll hand over to Nadine, who's going to get started. Give her
Hello everybody! Hi! Do I need a microphone?
No.
So, what an exciting day this is. 20 more people than I expected, so welcome. I didn't realise that we were this successful, but we obviously are. Can you believe that since Wednesday we've moved nearly £5 million worth of mascara? That's an exaggeration, actually, it's dollars. Anyway, we won't spoil a good story with the truth, will we? So, $5 million worth of mascara, what's that all about? And when you think that this is a quieter month, what is it going to be like when we get to September and beyond? And we are going to talk about our Exclusively Yours event at the end of the day, but do make sure you book your ticket, because there you'll get the 12 sales of Christmas to see how you can quadruple anything that you've ever done before at this really exciting time of year. So who is going to get a ticket who hasn't got one? Just me then. So, my name's Nadine, for those who haven't met before, and we lead the Lips, Love, Lashes team. As I didn't need a microphone, did I? No. Yes. Can't do all the things at once. We're very thrilled now to have introduced this very month another 1,000 new presenters into our presentership. So thank you to one and all for doing that. We're now 4,000 strong, and we have just turned over just over £2 million. That is pounds, not dollars. So we're very excited to actually go beyond 4 million in our first. I don't know how to work this. Is that it? Yes. Oh, is it? When we do Birmingham, I'm having one of those like celebrity ones with them. Then I've been really posh with my backpack thing. So that's very exciting. So when we decided to become part of Unique, which is almost a year now, it's on the 6th of August last year, I made a decision to leave my corporate role, to say goodbye to my white E-Class Mercedes and my company credit card. Now I pay for everything myself, and start again where I was 34 years ago when I first picked up the party kit with 3 young children and decided to raise them in a party plan environment. So to actually do that again 34 years later, it was like, well, what am I doing? Have I been such a failure that I'm starting again? But who could have thought that in 3 weeks and 3 days we would become black status presenters? And one of only, what did you say? Are you excited? Can you hear me? And from there on, we knew it was absolutely the right thing to do. I don't like crossing the Watford Gap much, although obviously we've got business all over the country now, and we do go support Natasha Kelly a lot, who's also a black status presenter. We do have to brave the Watford Gap. But what's exciting down there is that they do think Darius is either my partner or my brother. So I was very impressed with that. He wasn't. So that you all know, I'm very old-fashioned in my approach. I do people and product, and he is very technical and managerial and logical, and I am very emotional. So together, as my son and heir, together we like to think that we make the whole, and you'll get to speak to him as well in a short while. So today, would you be ready to take your business to the next level? Yes. Anybody reach the top of where they're going, they don't go any further? Never. We're going to learn how to get the most out of every personality, because isn't it fantastic that we can all be exactly who we are? and we don't need to try to be anybody else. But it's great to be able to talk to somebody. She's not in the room today, actually, or else I would have said the story while she was here. But I went to Utah, very fortunately, earlier in the year in February. And one of the girls I went with, said, now we all need to stay on the same floor at the hotel. Why? Why do we? And then at 10 to 7, I'll knock on your door, then we'll go down for breakfast, then we'll come back and do our teeth, and then at 22, we'll go back down and then we'll be ready to go to the office and do the training. I was like, whoa, now then. Not only do I not like to live in the box, I like to explode the box and pretend there isn't one, which is why I left my corporate role. So, you please go down at 10 to 7. I'll be there at 25 to 8 to get my coffee, and I'll be straight there on the bus to where we're going. But please, you do what you want as well. So, 2 black status presenters, 2 different people, 2 equally successful, but all being who we are. And that's what I want you to be. Celebrate who you are. So we're going to learn how to get the most out of every personality. And although we're an online business, just look at the people here today. Who's been ready for a bit of face-to-face? Because to have these extra people and wanting to come out, be it online or not, certainly for me, it's so much better to meet people, see who they are, where they're going. And I really want to thank Lauren massively, because she has arranged everything today, the room, the refreshments, organised the tickets, and you will meet her in a short while as an Orange Status presenter. But really, all we've done today is turn up, and she's arranged the whole thing. So to have people like that working with you is a massive blessing, isn't it? So let's give a little cheer to Lauren. So we are going to work on an offline, and we have put another coffee break in about an hour and 15 minutes, so that you can go to the banner, have your selfies taken, do little videos, get that on your walls, and also to be able to network with each other, because by the break you'll know who everybody is, and you'll be able to talk to them and have a new, unique support network. And when we did the Summer Sizzler event up in Scotland, in Liz, you can say how amazing it was.
Yeah, we're fab.
I'll pay you later.
Training out of this world.
But what I've noticed on Facebook is how many people celebrate the success of everybody was there, no matter what team they were in.
Yeah.
And that was really fantastic that they've got a new network, and I'd love you to have a new, I don't like saying system, I feel like I'm in a cult, so I'm supposed to be on. But anyway, you'll have more support, that's the main thing.
He's saying one.
So, whilst you're just
There's always one.
I do want to thank you all for the distances you've travelled today as well. I've heard people from Lincoln and North Yorkshire and so on. But I do think we have lovely Lynn here who's come, and she's staying overnight so as not to miss the event. Now that's massive commitment, and so thank you all, and a special thanks to Lynn for the massive effort. Many of you will have seen, have you all done your Y song yet, the fight song?
We're on it.
You're on it, yeah, keep doing that. So we've just finished the first retreat now. So have you heard the story from Derek and Melanie as to how the company started? That Derek actually retired when he was 37 years old, as you do. He was a shy boy with a stutter, which is why he went into soft and hardware and had a company of his own. And when he met Shalane, who is now married and have 5 children, she had to approach him and asked him out for coffee. And when she did, he said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, on that day I've got to babysit for some of my nephews and nieces." And she said, "Oh, well, I could come with you and babysit." And he said, "Oh, wow, that would be fantastic, I can go to the ball game." So I think the silence that she had was golden. And he said, oh, did you actually want to come with me and babysit? So anyway, that's how they got together. He sold his software business for many millions, and the house that you'll go and visit when you go to Utah is sensational. He paid cash for it, and it has a beautiful pool in the back garden in the mountains in Utah. And one of the biggest features that the girls love is it has a slide from the living room into the play area. The washing also is used as a washing chute, because it's got like the utility room in the basement next, so they chuck all the washing down the slide as well. So you're very welcome to go and use the slide and show, but none of that money has come from Unique. So he retired, and Shalane, I don't know the full backstory yet, but there's obviously some history of sexual abuse, that 1 in 4 women will suffer sexual abuse at some point, very often from somebody that they know. And therefore, the only reason he came out of retirement was to set a company up that would support the foundation for Shalane. So because of the work that you've done, he thought that that would take up to 5 years to open up the very first retreat. And because of what you've done, it's actually opened in 2 years and 3 months. In America, we can't do this yet, but they round up their orders as well to the nearest dollar. So all the change, if your order is something and 74p, you can opt to put the other 20 odd p to make it up to the dollar or the pound as it will be for us. But because it's international, we can't do that. But they're obviously raising massive amounts for that. So the retreat is open, the first one's done, the healing's begun, and we did have 33% growth May over April this year, and I'm waiting for July to be even bigger. Did you see that Nicole Smith not only bought a plane with her car allowance for her husband, who is a pilot, as you do, but she also, in the day, in her company, did $5 million. So you might see a picture of her on Facebook going, and you would, wouldn't you? So she has got lots of people, because she was one of the very first presenters. Lots of people are obviously in her company, but that's the potential of what we've got. At the side of the what's it called? Motorway, the freeway, is it in America? They have 5,145% growth here, and it's got a big arrow to the warehouse showing year-on-year growth. Do you know any other company that's done that? It's the least of values. We also are having next year a state-of-the-art office. It will contain the European hub, and what will happen is when you walk in, it has a huge water facility which all drips down this special wall to show how free-flowing we are and giving freedom to so many, not because the walls leak. So when you go in there, you'll see that it contains and houses the offices for the foundation as well. And it's on a 6-acre site just behind where the warehouse is now. And so we are set then to open and expand Europe at a very rapid rate. Exciting. So this year, we're obviously going into Germany and Mexico so far. And when anybody in America asks Derek why he's so successful, he says, I empowered an army of women, and that's who we are. And now 2 boys in the room, which is very bizarre. So the most exciting thing of all, not allowed to do this, the best is yet to come. And wherever you are, brand new or black status presenter will be nothing to where we're going. Amber Hoyt, that many of you met on the last visit we did, went being penniless, and have you seen the house she's buying next week? And now earning $40,000 a month. So all you have to do is decide which slice of the pie you personally would like to slice off for yourself, and then get one of us to show you how to do it. Will you do that?
Yes.
So that's the grounds of the foundation. And what I would like to do now is just bring up two people before we move on any further. And the first one, again, is Lauren, because since we had our last meeting, she's not only become a Green Elite presenter, but also an Orange Status presenter as well. So massive well done to you, Lauren, and come up to the front and take over. And then there's one more lady, and she, in our Lips of Lashes group, is our brand new, shiny, Green Elite presenter. She's come from near Everley in North Yorkshire, and it is Adele Thorpe. Yeah, you know you love it. No pressure. She didn't know I was going to do this. But the hardest thing for anybody to do apparently is to talk in front of people, but we need to get over it really quickly, which is why I'd like you to do a little video before you go and just give a couple of tips from the day. So as a new shiny Green Elite presenter, what do you love most?
Everything. I'd say my team. I love the most.
Oh,
I
they love the team. Stand up, team.
Only a few of them today, but yeah.
And Adele has also become our cruise achiever as well.
Yeah.
So, before we move on, last month I held a Presenter of the Month incentive. So, Tracy, if you just want to come up, I've got you a little something.
Tracy, come on. She's loving it.
You just want to say something about
What do you love, Tracy? Apart from Lauren. Nothing.
Let's give Tracy a round of applause.
Now that's fantastic, Andy. I could have paid Tracy to say that because what I wanted to just talk about very briefly is the two reasons that people don't continue in the business or why they don't reach their full potential. And it's really easy, you've just seen it demonstrated with those two girls now. One is they haven't got the confidence, and the other one is they're scared. So you get the disease which is called what if. And have you met people with, oh, what if I fail? Well, what if I don't sell anything? What if nobody wants to join? Well, what am I going to do then? Well, what if that happens? And the thing is, and let me tell you here and now, that 8% of what you worry about actually happens. So 92% of everything that you're mithering with, worrying about and scared of, is not actually going to happen. So what we need to do is take a look at 10 life-changing tips and make sure that we can build your confidence and eliminate your fears so that you can go on and do more. And when we see Tracy again, she'll come up here and do a testimonial, and she'll say the first time she was brought up, she was too scared to speak. And look at me now. So shall we book her in? Okay. So who might be up for 10 life-changing tips?
Me.
Are we going to do that?
Yeah.
So what's the first one? Well, the first one is embrace the setbacks. Who's been waiting more than 2 weeks for an order? Ooh, how annoying is that? And so what you've got to do is decide whether you're a duck or a diamond. Who wants to shine brightly and go around, or are you going to keep whacking? Now the thing is, we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it. We did have the 4-day bank holiday over in America, Obviously, we were all taken by surprise with how well we did at the month end. And it is very annoying, which is why I'm so excited in September, October to actually get our European warehouse. And when that comes into the Netherlands, which we'll hear about when we go to Chicago in 2 weeks, we'll be able to, yeah, no, we're going. So when we do that, not only will we get the release of all the new autumn products and how much do we like new products, but we also will find out all the details about Germany, Mexico, new countries, and also about the European warehouse. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and have hassled massively for lesser postage and also a much speedier delivery time. And therefore that is going to happen. So when we are frustrated, you obviously must moan right the way up to all your uplines, that's what we're here for, and let's see how we can manage any situation. And also to put a little extra something in when the order does arrive for you, people who've waited, as a thank you for the patience. So you can't afford to get frustrated with it. There's nothing you can do. Take a look and say, can I do anything about this? And in 6 months' time, will it matter? And when you look at it like that, look at how to manage it rather than reacting to it. Try to be much more proactive. So embracing the setbacks is a number one life-changing experience. Now, I don't know many of you very well at the moment, but you may gather or not that sometimes I can be a little bit dramatic. And, don't you laugh. So when I am, and at one time when I was looking at doing 6 or 8 parties every week to bring in cash that I needed, I'll tell you about that in a while, then I had to look at speaking to people a lot to get that number of bookings and appointments in. So therefore, I thought, what is going to be the most exciting word in the English language that's going to earn me more money than any other, that I can be really dramatic with, and then duplicate that with all the ladies that were coming into the business. So what do you think that word turned out to be?
Free.
He's always cheated at games. Sorry, what is it?
No.
Do you agree?
No?
No? Well, you don't agree. Well, actually, he's right, because he's heard me tell the story 1,007 times. So, the more people said it to me, the more successful I became, because no matter what or how good and skilled I became, people still turned me down. How dare they? It's not realise who I am, like closing the motorway at the side there. Today, it's not realise who we are, we're wrong. What do you mean? That the road, the slip road's shut. Anyway, I got over it, so couldn't do anything about it. So, I invite you to listen, to be set back a great deal. And there's no doubt about it that 90% of people will turn you down when you want them to be in your business. So therefore, when you've asked 3 or 4 and none of them have actually come through as presenters, that's okay, you're on course. But you must go to the next stage to make sure that you get what you want. So you set what you want. Nobody ever fails in this business. They just stop doing what will make them successful. So should you want 10 people in your business, we need that 100 list. And we need to look at how to approach them and what to send them to make sure that we get those 10 people. And when they turn you down, and this is what I thought, oh crikey, maybe I'll go to a party and I'll ask people to join the business, and they'll turn me down, and maybe I might bleed, and then people feel really sorry for me, I need a plaster. Or wouldn't it be amazing if they had to ring the paramedics and had to go on oxygen and go in the ambulance because I've been turned down. I wouldn't be like, oh, did you see what she did at that party? She collapsed because we all turned it down. Now the thing is, you know what? It never happened, sadly. So I couldn't make the most of it. I never even got a scratch. And I learned that although it was hurting inside, it wasn't me. They didn't have the confidence. They were scared. and maybe they didn't need the money. But nevertheless, I had 3 children to bring up. My lowest ebb, we had £10, 3 children and 6 eggs. That was it in the world. Do you think that I could afford that anybody turning me down to stop them having the life they deserved? They didn't ask to be born. So that's why I went to do 6 to 8 parties a week in a cash business to embrace the setbacks that 3 out of 4 people didn't want to book with me, didn't want an appointment, didn't want a facial, and 9 out of 10 people turned me down to join. But I still, at that time, and it is my ultimate goal this year, to actually have a £4 million turnover, which is how I left my self-employed business last time, doing 4 billion in a year. However, it took me 3 years to get there, not 1. And that will show that this is the company for everybody else to duplicate, won't it? So what you think about comes about. Every challenge is a gift to learn from and grow. That is all we need to look at. What is it you want? What do you want? Don't look at what you don't want. What do you want? And let's set it in stone, and let's work towards it, and let's understand that there's lots and lots of setbacks along the way. The next thing to remember, number 2, is there are no limits. I don't know where you live at the moment, whether it is your ultimate dream house. Anybody living in the dream home currently?
No.
Oh, that's sad. Not one person. Oh, good. Oh, lovely. I'm glad there's one. So that's really fantastic. What a sense of achievement that you must have to be living like that. But very often we are conditioned by our upbringing, and therefore, should we have been brought up maybe in a terraced house, maybe we did want to have a 3-bedroom semi. Maybe if we had a 3-bedroom semi, we want a 4-bedroom detached. I don't know. Some people, when I've seen some of the dream boards that people have made, oh my word, they're like mansion size. Has anybody put a mansion on their dream board? Yeah. Well, I'm excited about coming. So the thing is, there's no limits to what you can do, so you have to be careful about your conditioning. And has anybody here got children?
No.
Oh, yay! So, what happens is when they're about 10, 11 months old, you might stand them up and encourage them to pull themselves up on the sofa or to walk. Do you ever do that? Now, how many of you have had children where they then flop back on the bottom and then they need another go? Has that happened as well? And how many of you then rang up every single person you've ever known that's in your phone, telling them what a miracle child you've got, and how it's the best one in the whole world, it's a genius, because all of a sudden it's now walking. Have you done that? Now then, why don't you treat yourself like that then? Because at no point, all being well, have you taken that child, thrown it back in the cot and said you've had your chance. Has anybody ever done that? Don't admit it, friends. So is it any wonder that most people in the world walk? Because they were given that chance to have another go, and another go, and another go. And you praise them and praise them when they did. Do you do that to yourself? Or have you got that stick saying how useless you are with things? And if you try, because did you see Tracy when we asked her to talk, she was like this, telling herself she couldn't. I was trying to get her to nod her head. You try to nod your head and say no. Does it hurt? You have to think about it. Try to shake your head and say yes. It's difficult, isn't it? Because we're not conditioned to do that. It's not within us. We have to practice so do you have to practice with this business. You have to be good to yourself, praise yourself, thank yourself for ringing 10 people. They've all turned you down. Whoopee, fabulous, can't wait. Do it again, do it again, do it again. Aren't I amazing? Start your day with a sentence, I am. What are you? Amazing! Who's anything else but amazing?
Awesome.
Awesome! Yeah, very American. So, whatever your really positive word is, you start your day with. No, I bet nobody joins today anyway. Well, anybody can do it. You want to book a facial? No, at any time really. My diary's empty. So, we have to be really careful with the language that we use so that we can move closer towards what it is that we personally want. What is it? Don't tell me what you don't want. Tell me what you do, and let's work to it. Can you do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
No limits. So, the best helping hand is the one at the end of your own arm. Don't be your own worst enemy. Let's look at what we can do. The next one, number 3, is be willing to change. One of the definitions of insanity is to keep on doing what you've always done, expecting the results to be different. Now, we don't want to be insane, although I'm sure we are all a bit mad, and that's okay. However, when we are doing things and it isn't working and we've worked the numbers and we're still not getting the results, we have to be prepared to change. There's certain things that we need to do to make the difference, and that's okay. But you have to be willing to change. Don't focus on fear is the next one. What will I do if I do this? Oh, I bet I didn't ask. Good one. So the thing is, you have to be careful with what you're saying. When you focus on the fear and what's not going to happen, you're never going to get to where you're going. Work the numbers, they'll never let you down. So where the focus goes, the energy flows. And therefore, what you focus on, you can move towards. Fears are bullies. When you stand up to the fear, they will actually step back. They also, when you challenge them, they will actually stay still. And then when you actually go a step forward to overcome them, they'll melt. So therefore, don't allow the fear to stand in your way of where you're going. The next one is to find solutions. So when we have a solution, we can then look at what the challenges are and find a solution to it. We're going to come across many challenges. That's okay. The fact that we're in this company in its first year will see us in really good stead. Yes, we've put up with a lot of challenges in this last year, but they will soon dissipate and we will get the rewards as the company beds into the country. We're getting a country manager very shortly. We're going to have corporate training from America before the end of the year. Many of you will be going to see Eric Warren with Amber in November in Manchester. And there will be lots of things for you to focus on to help you move further and further forward. The main thing is then to take action. That's your next one. How many of you procrastinate? Oh, I will. I'll just watch this. I'll just ring my mum. Just put the washer on. And therefore, we don't have power hours of action. You'll be amazed if you give yourself a time limit what you can achieve in 1 hour of power working. And the great thing is you've got lives to lead, other things outside of Unique. And when you can then leave your phone behind, remember that we're not selling heart valves, I've tried all that. So therefore, it's lipstick and mascara. People can wait. So therefore, when you go out, you go to your gym, you take your children out, you have family time. The best thing I can say to you is make a calendar, a biggest one you can, and cross out all the time that you're not going to work. And when you're not, you cross it out and you don't. And you'll find that you are so much more effective in the time you allow for it, that you will move even further forward faster. So take the action. All out, massive action. Knowledge is power, and we need to turn that power into steps forward. My favourite personal development book of all is Questions Are the Answers, and that's your next life-changing tip. When you want to know something, ask. When you can say to somebody, would you like a 3-day weekend? Would you like an extra holiday this year? See what people say. Because then you can actually fit the business to their personal needs. They're not coming into your business or join my team. They might not even know who you are. But it doesn't matter, because we maybe can fill a need in their life. So Questions Are the Answers by Alan Pease will help you develop questioning skills. And when somebody says something, you can then say, is that what you want? Would you have time to listen to this and come back to me? Would you like a new car? Is there something you're looking for your home? Find the need within the person, and we can then fill the gap. Raise your standards. Don't go into the only me scenario. Oh, it's only me, I'll never get that. The number of people when the cruise was announced on New Year's Eve last year, oh, I won't be going, I never did anything like that, you must be joking. Oh, I don't know like how many points, 25,000, never knew them in here. So that was really positive, wasn't it? That, on that day, on the first day of a 5-month promotion, 90% of people decided they weren't going. Why do you do that? So, be careful, raise your standards. Try to look at how it's going to happen and where it will take your business by achieving these incentives. And finally, the last one is don't sweat the small stuff. And by the way, it's all small stuff. We're not worried about anything. We just look at the how. We can actually then look at how to overcome it. It's small in the history of what we're doing. Keep your why in mind, and let's take those positive steps forward. And then we can make the difference and go the extra mile so that we can fulfill our own full and true potential.